In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on May 31st, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Edmonton Oilers versus Colorado Avalanche. The Edmonton Oilers face the Colorado Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final in a series that features 2 star-studded rosters. The Oilers defeated the Kings in 7 games in the first round, but then controlled the second round against the Flames to advance to the conference final in 5 games. The Avalanche swept the Predators in the first round and then defeated the Blues in 6 games to advance to the conference final for the first time in over 20 years. The Colorado Avalanche get set to host the Oilers after winning their last series versus St. Louis 4-2. In the series, the Avalanche went just 1-2 at home. During the regular season, the Avalanche scored 312 goals, giving them an average of 3.76. This output gives them a rank of 3rd among NHL teams. On defense, Colorado is the 7th ranked unit, giving up 2.83 goals per contest. For the year, the Avalanche have played the 26th toughest schedule in the league, and when taking into account Colorado's scoring margin relative to the quality of their competition, they come in with a power ranking of 3rd in the NHL. The Colorado Avalanche are averaging 4.3 goals per game and are scoring on 34.5% of their power play opportunities. Nathan MacKinnon leads Colorado with 8 goals, Cal Makar has 10 assists, and Naim Kadri has 34 shots on goal. Defensively, the Colorado Avalanche are allowing 2.7 goals per game and are killing 73.1% of their opponent's power plays. Darcy Kuemper has allowed 21 goals on 218 shots faced, and Pavel Francouz has given up 5 goals on 51 shots. The Edmonton Oilers will kick off their series versus Colorado hoping to pick up an early road win. In their last matchup with Calgary, the Oilers won twice on the road. During the regular season, Edmonton found the net 290 times, good for a rank of 7th among NHL teams. Heading into the game, Edmonton is the 16th ranked defensive team, allowing opponents to score at an average rate of 3.06 goals per game. For the year, the Oilers have a strength of schedule rating of 17th in the league. When diving into their opponent-adjusted scoring margin, they come into this game as the 11th ranked team in the NHL. The Edmonton Oilers are averaging 4.33 goals per game and are scoring on 28.2% of their power play opportunities. Evander Kane leads Edmonton with 12 goals, Connor McDavid has 19 assists, and Zach Hyman has 51 shots on goal. Defensively, the Edmonton Oilers are allowing 3.08 goals per game and are killing 85.4% of their opponent's power plays. Mike Smith has allowed 30 goals on 411 shots faced, and Mikko Koskinen has given up 5 goals on 37 shots. It seems the NHL and their fans got what we all wanted: a full playoff series between the Avalanche and the Oilers. Most expected Colorado to be here as they were the top team in the West, but many will be surprised to see Connor McDavid and the Oilers in the Western Conference Finals. It's not because they lack the talent, because they have loads of it. They just don't have the depth or defense. That issue will be greatly tested in this series, and it should show itself in Game 1. The Avalanche can trouble any team, but looking over the lineup for Oilers, I don't see any lines slowing down Nathan MacKinnon's or Nazem Kadri's forward lines. Colorado will also hold the edge in defense and goaltending, led by Cal Makar, Devin Toews, and Darcy Kuemper. That group has allowed just 2.7 goals against per game through 10 games this postseason. The Avalanche haven't been the best against the spread in these playoffs at 5-5, but that's a small sample size. On the season, they were 22-19 against the spread on home ice. Without some key pieces for most of the way, Colorado has been excellent in the playoffs. They swept the Predators in the first round and eliminated a tough Blues team in 6 games in round 2. The offense has been rolling in the playoffs for Colorado. In the first round, Colorado scored 5 goals or more in 3 out of 4 games, and they scored 3 goals or more in 5 out of 6 games in the second round. Darcy Kuemper has been sharp in the playoffs. He allowed 2 goals or less in 6 out of 9 starts, and he has allowed more than 3 goals in just 1 playoff game. Kuemper Vancouver has a 6-2 record with a 2.44 goals against average and .904 save percentage in the playoffs. Mike Smith has started all 12 games for Edmonton so far in these playoffs, and he has a 2.7 goals against average and .927 save percentage. Smith allowed 3 goals or more in 4 out of 5 games in the second round. Colorado's high-powered offense will score on Smith as he has struggled in the playoffs. The Oilers are having a remarkable playoff run and look to pull off the upset in Game 1 and provide great odds in the process. The problem is the Avalanche are playing great in all 3 zones and look to overwhelm the Oilers on both ends of the ice. Tonight I like Colorado's chances more as they had a few more days to rest and get ready. I will also continue to bet against Mike Smith and net for the Oilers because he remains a weak link. So the Colorado Avalanche to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Oilers look to build off back-to-back 5-goal games and pile on the goals with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the rest of the forward unit overwhelming the Avalanche defense with speed in all 3 zones and creating open shots with great passes near the net. The Avalanche, who average 4.3 goals per game, should run up the score with Nathan MacKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, Nazem Kadri, and the rest of the forward unit crashing the net on the rush and creating open shots with great puck movement in the offensive zone, while Cal Makar and Devin Toews pick apart the Oilers' defense from the point. Edmonton scored 4 goals or more in each of the 5 games in the second round. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl each lead Edmonton with 26 points in 12 games played in the playoffs. Mike Smith has started all 12 games so far in these playoffs, and he has a 2.7 goals against average and .927 save percentage. Smith allowed 3 goals or more in 4 out of 5 games in the second round. Colorado was excellent all season on offense, and they scored 3 goals or more in 5 out of 6 games in the second round. In the first round, Colorado scored 5 goals or more in 3 out of 4 games. The offense has been rolling in the playoffs for Colorado. Cal Makar is tied with Nathan MacKinnon leading the Avalanche in the playoffs with 13 points in 10 games played in the playoffs. Makar had 3 points in 3 out of 4 games in the first round, and he had 3 assists in the second round. MacKinnon has recorded at least 1 point in all but 2 playoff games. Both teams have been carried by their offenses throughout the playoffs, and the upcoming game should reflect that with both forward units stepping up and finding the back of the net throughout the game. Also, both teams have been on fire offensively in the playoffs, and that will continue. This will be a high-scoring game controlled by both offenses. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.